Third time's the charm. We're doing the video now. I'm hopefully my cats don't start fighting. Let's just get into it. Arcadum did some shit. I'm not gonna go into a lot of that shit. I'm gonna go into a small part of that shit. Mostly just the audio. The audio from Naomi. The reason we're gonna go in that audio is it's really funny. No, he does fucked up shit. I'm not to say that the fucked up shit is funny, but in a way it is. Right? It just kind of is. The things he says, the ways he tries to spin things, the way he talks. He's a talker. He's an interesting talker. Kind of thinks he's the Joker. I'm gonna do this in a different way than Destiny did it. If you know how Destiny did it, go watch his 4-hour video. That's a fucking long video. It's worth a watch, really is. Go watch it if you haven't. But I'm gonna listen to the two audios. This one's 43 minutes. I'm gonna let it play a bit. I'm gonna let it play, and I might pause it here and there. I will definitely pause it here and there. But I think I'm gonna try to explain what I find so funny about this. Now, to note, there are many lolcows in this world, on the internet especially, and there are plenty of them that'll say the type of shit he says publicly. So let's please note that this was not meant to be public, right? Of course, Naomi intended it to be. He did not obviously intend what he was saying here to be public. No way. I mean, the shit he says is fucking hilarious. But there's a note, right? So he's not. There are plenty of locals that'll say this fucking Joker-esque fucking shit, fucking light type, fucking I'm a dark man shit. Uh, in the real world, they'll just fucking say it. It's wild. But he was trying to say it behind closed doors. It got outed because he's a bit of an asshole, as it turns out. So let's play the audio and let's start the vid. We get Discord. I don't call people on
Hello.
Discord.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Today is not a good day for me.
You really built that one up, by the way.
Yeah, me neither.
Banger line,
So
by the
let's,
way.
get this over with. I didn't mean any insult when I said what I said. It was very tame compared to what all the rest of us were doing and talking about.
For sure.
You joined in, and you had every opportunity to see that coming before you joined in of how we were talking.
Actually, so, I came in literally when you mentioned Neve, like to the stream,
Well,
and
well, then that is not my fault, nor is what happened to you this weekend, nor is what happened to
of
me
course.
your fault either. My point is that this is basically how this is going to go down. The way I look at it.
Laying it out.
Um,
Let's see how he lays
you
it out.
joined in. I took a soft shot at you, very tame. The same thing I would have said to anyone else, and that obviously hurt your feelings. That's not how I meant it. Nobody else there thought that's how that was meant.
I mean,
Nobody listened.
Not true. We'll go into that. That's not true. But they're obviously talking about banter. They'll go into that. And this is banter's interesting because banter can get personal. Banter can hurt people, but if you're really friends, most likely you'll have a discussion. I think that was too far. You know what? If that's too far, you're probably right. I'll take it back a notch. Now, from what I understand, we don't know what she said to him. And from what I understand is they never say what she said to him, if it was even that far. And usually if someone, throws a low blow, you can fucking kick it back. I don't think she gave him a low blow. I think he fucking shot it out.
Thought that's how it meant at all.
I mean, in response
And,
to that, like one person in the call was like, "Oh, bro," like in that kind of tone, and a few people in chat said it was too far.
Well, okay. First of all, people in chat are going to exasperate everything.
True. Chat is rats.
Argument that's it's not a good argument. And
Okay, Kelly also
It's
thought it
not.
was too far because I was crying and her and I were hanging out after, and she was asking why I was sad, and I told her that that's what you said, and I understood that it was banter, but that it hurt me, and she understood and
well, yeah.
like,
what is she supposed to say? what that you're wrong. No, she's gonna be supportive to you. That's come on.
Okay, dude, I'm just saying that
Fair, by
Anyway,
the way.
like I was
Fair, by the way. Shouldn't you be like that too? So no, it's fair, but he kind of should be like that too, right? We're presuming they're equal. They're kind of friends like that as well. I mean, they are, as far as we know.
saying before I was interrupted. Harm.
Condescending as fuck,
That's
by the
his
way.
way of joking and going, bro, like to exasperate it. That's a whole
Could be. I don't
back and forth
fucking know
thing
the
that
guy.
had been happening the whole
But
time. So
oh, that was a good
here's my
voice.
problem. That's where I go to relax. I was relaxing and having a great time.
Okay.
You came
Fair.
in and I wanted to include you, which is banter.
Okay.
So when I said, you know, you don't get invited back to the parties, the perfect response would have been the same amount of parties you do, and that.
Excuse me? We're giving her banter tips. What does that have to do with anything? It doesn't, by the way. I don't fucking get why he's saying this. They're giving banter tips? Come on. It's in a fucking, coaching meeting after the fucking game.
Is how friendship is showed, especially, amongst
Could
the
be.
crowd that I was hanging out with at the time. So now we move on to this point. I will no longer be bantering with you because I have no way of knowing as to whether or not you're going to be able to take it, because I have been very, very careful leading up to this point on what you can and can't take, and it seemed like you could. I was wrong. And the only way to ensure that this won't happen
Define
again
take, by the way.
is to not do it with you anymore. There you go. That's the solution.
It's a solution.
I
It's
mean,
not
if
the
that's
solution.
what you
The
feel
fucked
is
up one,
necessary,
but-
okay.
That is the solution.
But
I mean,
we've literally been bantering for like a year and a half and have never had
which
issues.
is why I felt comfortable that I could do something, especially something that's soft.
No, but this is what I'm saying.
What
like,
was your intention? That you would message me in the middle of the night after I was laying down saying that was uncalled for and too far? Like
I wanted to tell you. I wanted to tell you.
Right? That's what you wanted.
Yes, but that doesn't mean
And you
that.
got it. So what else is there to talk about?
That doesn't mean that you need to completely like shut something down. Like it
No. You don't get to decide what it means. I get to decide how I react to it. And the only way to ensure that you are not harmed again is to not include you. It's a simple.
That's funny for several reasons, but the big one is you're right. She isn't how you decide to handle it, but like there are more than one ways to handle it than just fucking shutting her out, right? And it's purposeful, right? We'll learn throughout this conversation that he doesn't actually want to shut her out, right? He's 9-braining here. He doesn't want to actually shut her out, right? But it's just so weird that he thinks that he can just completely decide that that's it. The reason you're talking with this person right now is so you can maybe come to a bit of an understanding, right? Or am I wrong? Is that not why you're doing it? It's not why he's doing it, but that's why you should be doing that, right? That's why he came here, was to decide, okay, well, can we find out, like, what's too far? What's too, kicking the balls when I'm bantering with you? It's fine to set up something like that. This is considering kicking someone in the balls, right? I've had times where I've bantered with someone, and I think they went too far, mentioning something about me. I'm not gonna go to extreme detail, and so I kicked them back pretty low, right? And we both said, you know what? That was low blows. We shouldn't do that again. That's what we decided. We still banter with each other. I'm more ferocious. I'm an asshole, right? That's why I'm kind of trying to see Arcadum's point of view, because I am an asshole a lot of the times. I try not to take things too far, but I absolutely can, and I try to, apologize after. I warn everyone beforehand. I am a fucking dick, right? And I can push you really hard, and if you don't want me to, you gotta tell me, because I can stop. I can avoid going far. Still probably banter with you, but I can try to avoid it. But I need to know that, you just need to know. And it seems like that's what she was doing, just informing him it's a low blow.
Simple as that. Like, what did you think was going to happen? That I'd say, you know what, you're right, and then I'd walk on eggshells around you for the rest of the time. Like,
yes,
send you pre-messages,
not
to
eggshells, but just
because obviously my
just don't bring up like you're fucking loser. Essentially, like nobody likes you. Just don't say that.
Predisposition towards you was
That's fair.
incorrect.
All right, if we've had 100 conversations and one of them went awry, that doesn't mean we need to stop having conversations.
That's not what I said.
I know, but I'm bringing up like a comparative example. Like if you eat 100 burgers and one of them is rotten, you don't stop eating burgers. I'm fine with banter. I enjoy and appreciate our banter.
You stop eating burgers from that place. So your example works against you, but that's not the point. The point is that
it doesn't.
What happened. This is the
it
point.
Doesn't, by the way. If you had 100 burgers from a place, maybe you would say, maybe I don't get burgers from that place again, but you could order something else from that place. So if we want to put this in comparison, I'm bantering with you, and you gave me a banter that I think is a rotten burger, right? I'll tell you that was a rotten burger. I don't really want those kinds of burgers again. Okay, we won't give you rotten burgers, but we can still give you other things, right? So just different banter. That's it. It works. It doesn't work against her. I don't know why he said that. Because he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room,
trying
right?
to explain to me how to treat people. I'm not even going to get into that because that was just patronizing and condescending. The point is that
says him, right? We started off as condescending as possible,
and which a social paradigm had already been established, and which
fair.
We
that's
were
true.
all riffing
fair.
on each other. Now, because you didn't know that was happening when you walked in, that is not our fault. That is yours.
That's changed, by the way, and that's not our
Reading
fault.
a situation is the common thing that people need to do when they walk into any situation.
Incorrect.
Sit rep is a basic setup to understand anything that's happening. Number 2.
That's first of all, if you just inform her. If you think that person might not be up to it, you just tell them. I feel like that's just a normal thing to do. If I'm talking about something, let's use spoilers for example. If I'm talking about spoilers, right? About a show me and my friend has watched, someone joins in, I'm like, hey, and I'm talking about it, and I just start talking spoilers. I'm like, what, you didn't tell we were going to talk about this? No. No, if he joins the call or something and asks like, oh yeah, I'm not finished with that yet, I'd be like, oh, we're probably going to talk spoilers. You should mute or leave or come back in a few minutes. Oh, okay. Fair. So, you do inform them. I don't... Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you include you in it because I know that you're a quiet one. So I tried to throw you in there, and I used that opportunity
by shitting in your throat
as an opportunity to get you in there. Because while it might seem lesser to you to correct me like that, up to that point, that was the object of banter because that correction had just happened. So therefore, when you play the first card, Naomi, that tells me you're ready to play the game. And therefore, I countered because that's how banter works. And the counter was very light, incredibly light compared to all the shit that we had been talking.
But Pot agreed here. He won't stop talking.
That I could not possibly have known about, it was too much for you. So
in response, Arcadum, I wanted to let you know that it was something that specific comment was something that was a little hurtful to me because I didn't want to hold on to it. That was a little uncalled for, and after a really bad weekend, that shit made me cry. And I said, I was kidding. That was just banter, Naomi. I'm sorry it hurt your feelings. And you said, some banter can be hurtful, Pepe Hands. And I said, I will not banter with you anymore. I'm fine with banter in general. How much good shit talking we have done over the past hands. And you're basically saying, nobody, Naomi, nobody likes you. That's not really banter, in my honest opinion. That isn't what I said. Which means that at that point,
it's what you imply. Of course, it's what you imply. I don't know why he tries to lie about this.
That I didn't. Well, not getting invited back to parties doesn't mean people don't like you. That's not what I said.
What does it mean? What does it mean, Arcadum? What do you think that means? What did you mean by that? It is what it means. I don't even understand. That's just what it means. Why else would you not get invited back to the party? I invite someone to a party? Yeah, I don't want to invite them again. Why? I feel like they didn't enjoy themselves. No, I probably didn't like the person. Fucking
I know that you like.
such a
I'm
weird
not
one.
saying that I took it as a personal attack of people don't like
You
I'm
did.
saying
I don't
that
know
the
why she
banter
lies about
of
that.
not getting invited.
No, you specifically said it's more personal, so you did take it as a personal attack.
It was one. Even if it was banter, it still was.
What?
No, so what I'm saying, Arcadum, is that I didn't perceive it as like
Banter
you
can be
telling
personal.
me
What?
that nobody likes me, because I understand that like what you were doing was banter, but the phrase like you don't get invited back to parties implies people don't like you enough to invite you back to parties, or something negative. Something negative
Duh.
results in you not being invited back to parties.
If you take it past banter, it can mean that.
It wouldn't be banter if it didn't mean that. Just because you're bantering, that doesn't mean you're not basing things in reality. Like when I'm insulting someone, maybe, I don't know, fucking try to think of an insult, right? Like I make fun of my friend for being bad at League because he goes 0-12 one game, right? He did go 0-12, so he must be bad. Is he really bad? Well, no, but it's not like I'm not calling him bad, or it's not like, it has to be you mean something by it, even if it's banter. Maybe you didn't want them to cry and you were just joking with them, but it's supposed to mean something. Of course it'll.
So I'm saying, what I'm saying is that like that phrase in and of itself did not feel like banter to me, because I don't take.
That's not my problem, is it?
This is a banger. I love this part.
I mean, wait. So
she's dumbfounded.
Be stronger. My advice, or don't play. Like what did you think the response should have been? Like, what did you expect?
What were they playing?
From what? Like from bringing this up to you?
Yeah. You got your apology. That obviously wasn't enough.
All I wanted was to let you know so that I wouldn't hold on to it, and like it wouldn't keep being like a little sore spot, right?
Yeah, you kept drawing it out though. I said I was kidding. It was just banter. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. That's it. That's what you came for.
And I wanted to let you know.
And then you said some banter can be hurtful.
I wanted to let you know.
Because you wanted to fucking lecture me. That's what you wanted to do, and that's what you tried to do. See, that's the problem.
By the way, to note, he, without a doubt, talks far more than she does. He is quite clearly lecturing, but I mean, she's dumbfounded by that. That was fucking bad
weekend, and I made you cry over some banter. That was resolved the moment I responded with, "I was just kidding. It was just banter. I am sorry it hurt your feelings." That is because that was my intention, an understanding that it hurt you, and an admission to fault, in which I took care of all of that in 2 sentences. And then you tried to go into your regular lecturing self, which you've done plenty of times. Some banter can be hurtful, and I just didn't want to deal with it.
That's so good. You're regularly lecturing
yourself. And then you
self.
proceeded to try and explain to me in further detail why I was wrong to say it, and I just didn't want to deal with it. I just didn't have the sympathy for it.
Normally in friendships, people don't say either like deal with the status quo or leave. Like,
I only said that after you brought it up to this point, because if I don't understand what it is that you actually want, I still don't. Like, you got your apology and I meant it, but you kept drawing it out. Okay, so it's obviously you wanted more.
Typically, if somebody does something that doesn't have the intention to hurt, but it hurts somebody, they don't like say, like, oh, well, that wasn't like I making.
They don't say what I didn't mean to do that, because if I meant to do it, that would mean I wasn't your friend.
No, they don't say shit like nobody else took it that way. They don't say shit like it's your problem that you took it that way. They say they literally just say like,
I didn't say that until after you tried to explain to me how to talk to people. That was me not having any more.
Did she do that? I don't know if she did that.
As I pointed out at the very beginning, what was the first thing?
Emergency, by the way. My hair's fucking thinning. I need more vitamin C.
I said to you when you said that to me.
I'm sorry it hurt your feelings. I was just kidding.
I was just kidding. It was just banter to explain my position. And then I said, I am sorry it hurt your feelings. That's me taking all the fault for it. I didn't say you were wrong. I didn't say any of that other shit.
He's kind of right here.
And then what is your response after that? You said some banter can be hurtful. Pepe hands. Well, guess what? That's you trying to say, well, some banter can be hurtful, because I know that if I had engaged that correctly,
it's not what you're trying to say. You said it
in the way that you probably wanted to. You would have went into this tirade explaining to me how, and you even tried to do it later after that. And so I just don't have time or sympathy left in my tank to deal with that.
So note.
So the best way to make
Note the guilt here. I don't have enough sympathy left in the tank. I don't think that's how people work. You're either a sympathetic person or you're not. It's not just like enough in the tank. I mean, I don't know what he's going through in his life, but like to just say that to someone that's your friend, it's very weird. It's very, very weird. Now, I do agree with him actually, in that when I would, if I said sorry to someone, and they like, you know, so let's put it up, right? He says, I said sorry. I took the blame for it. And then she responded with some banter can be hurtful to Pepe hands. You could probably just not type there and be like, okay, yeah, it's fair. It could be. You probably could have typed that, right? It's fair. It can be, and that's why I apologized. That's it. Now, if she continues to message you, she's trying to piss you off, right? I could see that. I could see she's trying to make you upset, right? Something to give Arcadum defense for this fucking conversation. He's fucking asshole through the whole time and is condescending as fuck. But I can see what he's saying, right? Usually when you have an argument with someone, you try to have a goal in hand, right? You try to have a goal. What are we trying to reach? What are we trying to answer? And I understand plenty of times that when you actually have conversations, it doesn't turn out like that, right? If you're angry at a person or you're annoyed with a person, it's very likely your goal actually doesn't matter that much. You're trying to let off some emotion. You're trying to fuck with them. You're trying to, I'm right. Fuck the goal. Fuck what we're trying to figure out. I'm right. It happens plenty. And that's what it seems like went on here.
Make sure that you don't get hurt again is to make sure that you don't play the game.
Oh, this is dumb as fuck.
I just won't play it with you. There you go. Everyone wins. It's not like our relationship's going to change. That is a presumption on your end.
Of course it's going to, right?
The change will be seamless. You won't notice it, even with.
Of course you wouldn't notice it. You wouldn't banter.
Because I know how to do it.
It's just a lie. Doesn't mean anything.
In fact, if we had never even talked about it to this extent, you wouldn't even have noticed anyway. It's just in this one instance, my normal sympathy tank that I have.
Probably she would.
And what I meant by be stronger, well, understand that that's maybe what I actually meant by it wasn't the thing that you thought that was meant by it.
The reason why I said
that doesn't mean anything as well
is because I enjoy banter. All right, it wasn't to start getting into a thing about how like to start getting into a lecture. The reason why
shit argument, by the way, just because you like banter doesn't mean something is not banter when it may be intended to be as banter. But it's whatever.
Said that's not really banter.
Also, the be stronger thing. That's not what you meant by be stronger. You meant shut the fuck up. If I go too low, fuck you. That's what you meant.
In my opinion.
Whatever.
Because that specific comment hurts me. Most of the time, I love banter, all right? And I didn't feel like it was necessary to be like, okay, we're not going to banter anymore. Like, that part's gone. You know what I mean?
When does he say that?
Because
Can I find that?
You felt the need to message me, and I made you cry and all that. I don't want to fucking deal with that guilt. And the only way to make sure that that you're not hurt, more importantly, but also that I don't take yet another mark to my guilt, then is to just not play the game. Because for the advanced level of empath that I am, taking the year that we have spent together and felt each other out, talked to each other, feeling it out, that I tried to invite you to play the game with me, and then I hurt you, means either A, I'm not nearly as perceptive as I was hoping I was, and therefore I can't be trusted to play, or you can't take it. Both of these things are it's one of those two things. Or the third one is, this was just a shot on you on a bad day, but you're not taking it as a shot on the bad day, so you've taken that off the table. So therefore, the only way to ensure actual resolution, because I'm not gonna.
All right, let's take it as a shot on a bad day, and because of the kind of person that I am, I want to bring up shots even if they're on bad days, because I don't want friendships to be fucked up with people that I care about. All right.
None of this is going to happen like that. Your presumption, what, you're going to think we're not going to be friends anymore because of this? No.
Pause to note. When we look at the chat logs with her, she did say something, but it's her correcting typos. That's hardly banter. You know, that's apply. You're a little dumb because you can't type correctly. That's whatever. It's petty banter. It's pretty weak too. It's not deep. So you know, Naomi, you're the girl who doesn't get invited back to parties. Maybe it's a low blow. That's way more of a low blow than some typos, unless you're like an English major and Arcadum is really pissed because, you know, fucking English major, how dare you say that? But he's not, right? So when she says the can't be hurtful Pepe hands, which she mentioned, that is when he says I won't banter with you anymore. And then she says I'm fine with it. Well, banter, it's how I meant it. I don't get how you can lie in real time like this. The girl that doesn't get invited back to parties. What does that banter mean? You don't get invited to parties. No, of course it wouldn't be banter if it wasn't rooted in something. I don't know how he tries to lie that one off. Like, obviously it meant people don't like you. What was the point? Like, people don't want you to be a buzzkill at a party or something, which maybe it's a low blow for you, but obviously it meant something. I don't know why he lies about that. You can take that on the chin. Yeah, I did kind of say no one likes you. Maybe it was low. That's all you gotta say. I don't know why he has to lie about that, but and it was in response to your own, which was the typo thing. No one else took it that way. He says that. He basically says all the stuff. Also, he's fucking... He kind of loses it here. It's fucking... He says, he's like... He's going to say something, and he's like, wait, never mind. You are typing. You are typing. You are thinking about what you're typing, probably. Although he does type in a way where it's like line, then line, then line. I type like that as well. But when he says that, just so we are talking, Frank, actually, never mind. That pisses me off. And I'm sure it pisses everyone off. If you want to say something, don't tease us. And then not say it. Fucking say it. That's very annoying. But that's whatever. Something meter ran out today. Oh, what was me? And this is the weird part. Because when he brings up something, and then she asks about it, right? So he brings up the actually never mind about the other shot they were taking, and then he's like, you don't want to talk about it today? I get it, but what's the other shot you're referring to? I don't know what you're talking about. He just, boom, I'm out of there. Off that topic. You got what you wanted, did you not? Not really. But, like, it's very weird, right? He tries to extend it, then cancels the extension. She's like, no, wait, what were you trying to say there? And then now he's acting like, didn't you get what you want? Why are you still talking? Well, you tried to keep talking, didn't you? That's what that comment meant. Obviously, I'm going to link the Twitter longers down below. Once again, I'm just reading this because I think it's funny. I'm not trying to fucking ruin this guy's career. If you want to read the twit longers and you decide that's what you want to do, fucking go for it. I just think this thing's funny, and I'm making fun of Arcadum a bit. Because Arcadum says some funny ass shit in here, but... Good thing she records this, by the way.
I just won't play with you like that.
Big brain.
It's like don't invite him to dodgeball. You know, it's like that's all it is.
That's so fucked up too. Just don't murder him when you play
I mean,
dodgeball.
unless
Maybe
you've got a better
throw it a
idea, I'm
little
keen to
less
hear it.
hard.
That ensures that you're not hurt again. Is there any other methodology that you can suggest to me that guarantees?
There is
that you
actually,
won't be
by
hurt
the way.
again?
Just don't say no one likes her. That's it. That's it, man. That's it. It's that easy.
Hence why I'm taking it. That's the only one I can think of that guarantees it.
I don't know. Aside from just awareness of like the kinds of comments that typically attack like things like the difference between something that would actually
There comes
be
the
hurtful
lecture.
to some. No. You're
What a
asking
dick,
me
by
for
the way.
suggestions,
What a
right?
dick. And you did
Yeah,
ask,
You
by the way.
literally just asked me for a suggestion. So what I'm responding with is my idea tossing it.
Here
out
comes the
there. I'm
lecture.
not
You
gonna
did
play
ask for
lecture.
the lecture, though.
This
What a
is my
dickhead.
idea. Like just being aware that there's a
See, that's
difference
pretty
between
funny.
being like
That is being an asshole. It is
like
funny.
some and I don't know. We've done so much banter over the past year.
She's very
There's
nervous here, actually.
obviously a difference between that kind of stuff and something like this.
It's
that
because
is,
she's
like,
recording. She's kind of
'cause you know
nervous.
people.
She obviously
You
could have
know the
fucking
kinds
dropped
of
shit on
things
there.
that will
but-
hurt people. Like you've said yourself that you know how to dig into people. So understanding that like using the things that actually dig into people when
As
you're
long as you're
bantering
tearing up here, by the way. It's
is
very,
not as fun as the more lighthearted banter that fucking most people love participating in.
That was light. That was maybe it's not to you, but that was light in the intention. And furthermore, I know all that, which is why when you said that it was too much, I said I was sorry. The conversation could have stopped there and then it would have been fine. But when you proceeded to try and drag it out, I saw you weren't ready to play the game. Simple as that. Because you wanted more than an apology.
No, dude, all I wanted was an apology. I think that
I apologized to you once, and then I apologized to you again, and then you kept trying.
He's actually lying in
to
real
push.
time.
Let me explain something.
He
to
tried to
I don't think
push,
you're
right?
getting it.
Let's not pretend he didn't type a lot.
Okay.
He was
Full
playing
disclosure,
the,
full cards on the
as he's
table.
been saying, he was
Okay.
playing the game, wasn't he?
Are
Have to
you
read
in
the
an
chat log,
emotional
you can
state to
see.
handle this? Because I'm not going to hit you when you're down.
I don't know, depends on what it is.
In that case, I won't tell you.
That's bullshit. You don't fucking line people up with that. You don't. That's bullshit. That's just bullshit. You don't. He did this in the chat as well. You fucking say how you feel. Maybe it's fucked up. If it's how you feel, you can discuss why it's wrong, but you can see he's just trying to shit on her here. He's not trying to actually resolve anything himself. It's whatever.
The only reason I drew this out is because I was confused about you saying I will not banter with you anymore because I didn't feel like this
Fair,
warranted
by the way.
like needing to stop banter.
The Pepper
And
Hands
that's-
thing could
that's
have
why I
ended
started
it. He
talking
could have
about
just
all that
said,
other stuff because I was like, wait, but
you know,
this
whatever.
can continue. This can be a one-off thing that is like, so you said sorry, I forgave it, it's fine. And I just wanted to explain why it was outside of the realm of normal banter. Like, okay, this comment I didn't perceive as normal banter. That's why it was outside of the realm of the usual stuff that I'm always fine with. Like that was my intention. It wasn't my intention to be like,
Well, that explains why Kelly left.
well, her and I were gonna hang out anyway, and I messaged her if she still wanted to hang out. I didn't message
That's
her talking about your
awesome.
shit.
There's some guilt trip bullshit. He's a real
I'm gonna have
manipulative
to
piece
deal
of
with
shit
that
here.
later.
I don't know what.
Wait, I never messaged her.
I could not imagine talking to people like this. I just couldn't. I have to deal with that later. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Like, if you're gonna have to deal with it later, why not deal with it? If she mentions it to you, just bring Naomi in there. Just talk all three of you. Just fucking talk it out. What's this fucking petty high school bullshit? This guy's 30, by the way. I don't. I really hate that he knows how to do his job. Apparently, you fucking don't. I just don't get it. I'm gonna have to deal with that later. It doesn't really, sounds. It's not only manipulative, but it's some pity shit. It's fucking
Like,
low.
Hey, Arcadum said something and I was sad.
Also, the
What?
sigh.
Or are you talking about something else entirely unrelated right now? her and I were gonna hang out anyway, and I messaged her.
Did you or did you not talk to her about what I said?
Yeah, but that was after.
Oh, and now I'm gonna pay for that.
What? No, dude,
I'm gonna pay for
that
it.
was way after
If
her
you
and I
think
had
it
already
Take
started
retribution.
talking. That's not why she left.
It's funny.
Okay, well, here's the thing. You don't know her as well as I do.
He doesn't know that. Also, she keeps saying that's not why she left. That's not really the point he's trying to get at.
If you think
What he's
for a
trying to
fact
get
that
at
what
is some
you've
pity
just done
bullshit.
won't have rippling consequences, then you're wrong or naive.
It's like
So,
one ripple. It's not
sorry.
like a fucking butterfly effect all
Now
the time.
I have additional stress. Now I know I have
We're
to
not
deal
changing
with
the
that. And
past.
please don't message her trying to nip it in the bud because that will just make it worse.
Nor would
Her
she.
and
I don't
I
think
hang
she
out
would.
all the time. Her and I had a planned hangout. She didn't leave to come talk to me about this. We had plans anyway. I messaged her like, "Hey, are we still hanging out? Are we still on for tonight?" And she was like, "I have a headache, but yeah, I'll be there in a minute." That's why she left the group call, because her and I had plans anyway. And
She said she'd come back.
Doesn't mean anything. People say they're gonna come back all the time and never come back. And it happens all the time in my friends group. Hey, I'm gonna go talk to my girlfriend. I'll be back, and they just never come back. It fucking happens. Whatever.
That's the
Maybe
part
something
that you're
comes
not
up. Maybe they
understanding.
when her
decide
and
to
I
do
ended
something
our
different.
call, she
Doesn't
was
mean
planning on
anything.
going to bed.
Yeah, and now she's streaming.
By
And
the
you know why
time
she's
by the time
streaming?
we ended the call,
Okay.
you guys were already done streaming. That's why she didn't come back, because it was over. Her and I talked
Negative.
for a while.
We were still in there. We were still in there after I streamed for like an hour and a half. But anyway,
It should just be a mix of
I'm not
timetables, by
gonna
the way. None
try
of
and
this
argue
might be
about the
true. They might just
semantics of it, because the point
be
is,
going
I know I
here,
have to
you
deal
know.
with that now. She's probably gonna fucking take smaller shots at me, and I'm gonna have to deal with that. And
Just banter, isn't it, mate? Fucking love that one.
Do you
God.
expect friends not to comfort each other? Like,
That's oh my god, yeah, that's what I meant. Please.
That was pretty
That's
funny. That was a
not what
low
I
blow.
fucking
That was
meant.
funny, though. He took it very edgily. That's fucking
Do you have any
pretentious,
idea what it's
isn't it?
like to not even be able to talk your true feelings to somebody because you know it'll fucking
This is an annoying part. I'll wait for him to finish his
destroy
little
them?
fucking speech.
Like, do you have any idea what that's like? Like, that's my constant
She owns him here, by the way.
is I can't tell people what I really think or the truth about something, not the full one, because I know that they can't fucking take it.
why do you have so many harmful thoughts towards your friends then?
It's
like,
not harmful thoughts,
Clap
they're
this.
hard truths.
So she clapped him there. But everybody has things they want to say to their friends that might be hard truths. What is he talking about? You're the only one? Come on. We all hold ourselves back every day. Everybody does it. It's just because sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes maybe there's softer ways to put it. You don't need to fucking burn everyone every time you see them. It's, that's all it is. I don't know why he's acting like he's the only one who does this. I hold myself back all the time. I'm sure if you talk to individuals you just meet, you're probably not fucking blowing their asshole open. People do this all the time. It doesn't mean anything. It's just fucking... It's weird manipulation. Do you know what it's like? Yes, everyone does. Maybe you're a bit more of an asshole. Maybe you're like me. A bit more of an asshole, but I hold myself back plenty. You're not unique. It's not super special. You shouldn't feel good about it either. Being an asshole is not a good trait. Hard truth, by the way. That's bullshit.
And the thing about it is
Like,
because
you
I'm
know it all,
constantly in
buddy.
a position of providence to people, those friends of mine are made and sustained through a system of service.
What
So
did he mean
that's
by
the
that?
difference.
I mean, do you think that if you didn't do D&D that people wouldn't be friends with you? Like, that's not the
Yes.
case.
No. I know that's in fact, I can give you a percentage.
I'm gonna let him finish this out before I drop a
It is actually
bomb on you.
I believe it is 17.8%
zigzalt you.
of the people that I run D&D for will continue to be my friends once the game is done. I have that number for you. I have made that calculation. I have made that calculation 4 separate occasions. The evidence is empirical. So, sorry, but that statement that do you think they'll they'll stop being your friends is actually yes, as much as you might not like it to be. We don't live in a world of what we'd like to be. We live in a world of realities, and that's the reality of it, is that 17.8% of you will not talk to me again.
That's a good percentage. He just floated in.
Excuse me, will continue to be my friend. I believe it is 48% of you won't talk to me ever again.
Wait, what about the other percent?
Once or twice.
Passing messages, not a real friendship.
So, weird percentage thing here. I don't know how he fucking got to that number. He's probably right, though. But it doesn't mean what you think it means. When you have a hobby with other people, that tends to be where you meet most of those people. If you're a hiker and you meet other hikers and talk to them about your hobby, and you stop hiking, you don't have that in common anymore. So you might not talk to them as much. You might not really be friends as much. I mean, that's normal. If you play League of Legends and you stop playing League of Legends with people, you won't talk to them because they'll be playing League and you won't be. You'll be playing something else. You won't know what to talk to them about. I'm different in this regard because I have very few friends. So, like, we have tons of different likes, but we're still able to communicate fine. You can do it, right? That's why I have very few friends. Where, like, 17.8%, you know what? That's not a bad percentage of people if you leave hobbies, right? If you go fucking become a fucking Valorant player and you become a popular streamer that way, you'll probably get Valorant friends. It's so fucking normal. It's so weird to bring this up because it's so unbelievably normal. It doesn't... It's not sad. It's normal. It's what people do.
Onto the passivity due to my position as a streamer. I haven't done the recalculations based off of that yet, but I can tell you unequivocally that
calculator out.
The use of D&D in order to make friends has a 17.8% retention rate,
which is normal. That's okay. That's not a bad thing.
That I live.
It's not a tragedy, man. Oh my god.
I don't expect you to understand that. I don't bring it up because it just makes people feel awful, but that's the reality of it.
I mean, is that like for all DMs or for you specifically?
That's for me. I can't speak for all DMs.
Right.
How do you statistic them differently? How do you do their math?
That's the only measurement that matters, is because it's me. I'm not someone else. So, yeah.
What is he based
that
off
me
of?
Specifically.
Okay, but like, have you thought about why they wouldn't? Aside from the obvious clout chasers, because
oh no. This is before clout.
Okay.
This is before any of that. These measurements are based off my entire career. So.
She was about to hit a good point. Hit that point. Come on. She doesn't hit it, I don't think.
Okay. Well, have you thought about why, though? Because, like...
Oh, no, of course I have, Naomi. Please.
Please. Not condescending at all, by the way.
I have augmented behaviors. I have done experiments to determine why. I have tried to pick different ethnicities. I've tried to do different gender counts. I've done everything that was within my power to experiment, and that number has remained depressingly the same.
That's not what she asked. Oh, you're such a dickhead. It
could just be because it's me, but
could be.
Change isn't very easy, especially if someone of my age. So, bearing a complete and utter personal overhaul, that's the way it's going to be. So that's why, to protect myself from disappointment, I have to keep this wall up. And one of those walls is determining whether or not I can speak frankly around someone in a non-professional manner. And after a year of our interaction, I thought that I was ready to be comfortable around you. I was wrong.
I mean, in that sense, we've had a lot more personal conversations than the closeness and comfort
which is why I'm not thinking that our friendship is over because of this. I just won't banter with you anymore. That's it. Like you're the one who's blowing this way out of proportion than what it actually is.
It was her. It is her, isn't it?
Probably because you've had
an emotional day.
I've had one too, but I'm used to having those because I'm in a well, I'm not saying that I'm used to having those like other people don't have those every day.
Right.
I'm saying those that I am in
Yeah.
a specific situation in which my training
What was
prevents
me?
me from being. I don't have the luxury of
My
being emotional.
training.
I don't get to message people in the middle of the night with, you know.
Note, if we look at all of his logs, I'm sure he does that. Matter of fact, we know he does that. So he's just lying here, which he's trying to get a one up on this chick. It's fucked up to do, but he is lying.
Something
That's
they said to
obvious
me hurt
lying
my
too.
feelings. I don't get to
Hey,
do
man,
that.
as far as that goes, if you've got alerts on, it wasn't my intention to get you out of bed or anything.
No,
like,
no.
or
It didn't wake
sleep
me up.
schedule.
He's about to go into a part where he says that's obviously not what he meant, but at the beginning, the way he said it, he did try to fucking guilt her, you know, try to imply that it's so late at night. He did try to imply it, but that was earlier in the conversation. I think he got the points for it already, and now he can take that back after he already got the points for it, the pity points.
Those
I
are
was already
all
there.
out of whack.
He already got the high score.
I said in the middle of the night because it's accurate, not because it's an intention.
That's not why you
woke
say
me
that.
up.
That's not why you say
Yeah, I have no fucking semblance of sleep right now. Everything got fucked up.
But my point is that that's the reality I live with.
Right.
What was me?
You're taking this way out of proportion.
Once again,
Think
he
that
extended
because I'm
it,
not gonna banter with
and
you
he did
anymore,
attempt to
Ben.
extend it.
I'm gonna stop being your friend. You
There was a
want
way
to
to cut it off. He chose to extend it.
I mean, you might. I don't want to.
Takes two to tango. That's what they say.
My prediction rate on that's pretty high. You won't notice a difference. So it won't matter. It's just
That sound I just heard. That's from a game, right? What the fuck is she playing?
I live in. We wouldn't even be having this conversation if my sympathy had been higher, because it would have taken more levels of pulling for you to get to that statement that I knew was going to be polarizing.
Right.
You only got 2 layers of sympathy this time, not the normal 6.
I don't get the layers, by the way. That's fucking random as fuck. I don't know.
I'm sorry if that sounds aloof or cold, but that's literally all this is to me, is just numbers. Each person.
She's about to own him, by the way.
I give them, and I allot that as much as my mind can take.
Man, maybe that 17% exists because people are numbers to you. Like I know that people are way more
fucking
numbers
rolled.
to you.
Whoa.
But like all of this like testing stuff and like trying to.
Maybe you should treat people as
dive so deep
people.
into people.
It's what I do. That's why I'm good at my job.
That's not true.
That's why I can make connections. That's why I can make friends with almost anyone.
Dude, it's like a blessing and a curse.
Well, yeah. But I mean, look.
I believe that, by the way.
I know how to pay the dirt price.
Yeah.
I know how to eat shit.
Doesn't mean
and keep
anything.
going.
That does mean something. Y'all eat pieces of shit.
Well,
If I wasn't tough, I would have died long ago. So.
Or if you weren't tough, you just wouldn't get into the military.
This is how.
I don't want to speak on that. It's not
I
important.
think there might be a few more people that would want to stick around even if you didn't do D&D. But
Even if it's only 17.8, that's whatever. That's fine.
Is there
It's not a
anything else
big
you'd like
deal.
to say?
Eat another hobby?
No,
Retain
aside
another
from the fact that,
17.8%?
like,
Shit,
I
you're
still
building.
think you're a really cool guy, and I think that
It's
like,
sim shit. She clapped him several times, though.
Well, I mean, I don't really view this as beating myself up.
Neither do I.
I mean, it's.
you definitely beat yourself up about other things.
Well, yes, because I know myself.
Yeah.
I mean, people think that, oh, you're way too hard on yourself. I'm hard on myself in the way that I'm hard on myself because once, many years ago, I allowed myself to become arrogant, and I became the most evil version of myself that I have ever witnessed.
He's turning into
It
light.
disgusted
The
me.
fucking figure. He's turning into light,
Because
bro.
imagine,
He was light.
you know me enough now that you know what my abilities are.
That was on sale, by the way.
Imagine if they had no temperance
Right.
and I was selfish.
Uh-huh.
Imagine the destruction that I could wreak and get away with it. The problem is that in the military, I was not a good person.
Right.
I wasn't. And it was only because of my self-realization that thankfully my love for D&D outpaced my selfishness, and I was able to retemper myself.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things that I put in place specifically to control who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm talking about what it's like to not be able to say the things that I really want to say, that part of that, which everybody shows restraint.
I mean,
oh, he does note that.
Yeah, if people didn't, people would be canceled left and right. Like,
yeah. But the thing is that I know that my influence is palpable and is naturally more destructive.
So he's weird on this. This is a weird part.
I've been exposed to other people who also have that power at differing degrees and specializations. But from what I've noticed, with the exception of probably 2, mine is stronger than theirs. And I keep it in check. Because if I don't, I could really hurt someone. And that person has an audience.
So what?
Right.
So
now there's the risk of insane backlash.
No, it's not even that. I don't care what happens to me. I care about what I just did to that person.
Well, you wouldn't if you went that far,
right?
Right?
Then magnified because of their audience. So, anyway, I normally don't talk about this kind of stuff.
So the weird part about this is he's saying like he'd hurt them. I don't really know. Does he mean he's gonna insult them? Does he mean he's gonna affect their life? Does he mean he's gonna out things privately about said person to ruin them? If you go that far, well, most likely you wouldn't worry about caring about that because you were willing to go that far. So it's some weird manipulation tactic. It's a pity show.
People treat me differently. That's why I don't talk about it. They either don't believe me at all, and they think I'm a liar, I'm delusional, or
he is, by the way, completely.
And they watch everything that they say around me. That's why I don't tell people it. That's also why I don't play Among Us. You ever want to
That's
know
a
what it's
banger.
Like Among Us with me? Ask Momo.
I doubt it's worse than playing with XQC.
First tier group.
That's so fucking
where
stupid.
we all played together. You joined us. It was pretty funny.
Okay. Well, anyway.
She absolutely owned him here, by the way. But we did play together, don't you remember? Oh, well, anyway. You should have seen it. I was a genius. I was fucking sitting in my chair like L. But I had the villainous of light. Nah, bruh. Nah, bruh. You fucking goofy fucker.
I am sorry that I hurt your feelings.
That's what I said, by the way. You never say this to people in person.
Of the percentage that I believe it is my fault, I certainly believe that I hold enough of a.
To note, it's all his fault. The percentage that it offended her. Right? It's all your fault when you say something to offend them. Because you said it. Now, you might not have known it offend them. Doesn't make it their fault. Doesn't make it less of your fault. It just means you come to an understanding and move on. It's still technically your fault, but we don't have to like mark that as like the worst thing ever.
Percentage of it being my fault that it deems an apology.
Just stupid.
I'm sorry for blowing it up.
She shouldn't apologize here because she didn't blow it up. He definitely played that game to extend it.
Because I wasn't trying to.
Let's open this video. When I talk over them, I'm certain my voice is louder. I hope it doesn't just sound like 2 people talking at once. It would really suck. I might rewatch it. Maybe this doesn't get posted, but we'll see.
Turn it into a lecture, but the way I perceived some of your responses was, well, it wasn't clear to me, so I wasn't sure if you were like really apologizing or dodging the question, but it's all good now. Or not dodging the question. Sorry, it's fucking late.
Well,
but
it's text.
Yeah.
Text loses all humanity.
Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't.
And
fine.
Therefore, you're going to view everything as the most
possible.
Negative that it can be, because once you divide humanity, then you have only the devil. So
it felt like one of those that was like, well, I'm sorry that you took it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which of course.
Which he kind of said. He did kind of say that. He did mean that as well, by the way.
I placed the "your" in the place.
Get stronger, by the way.
That you wouldn't read it that way.
Yeah.
Because I could have said, "I'm sorry you feel that way," and it would have meant the same thing. But of course, you would have taken that into the whole PC outlook, chomping at the bit, fucking foaming at the mouth, fucking.
Be stronger, by the way. It is how he meant it.
My feelings are valid, kind of shit. So And we avoid that by using proper placement of words.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you act that way. I've just had to recently deal with that to an extreme degree, and it's fresh in my head.
Dude,
A little more now, huh? That's funny.
it's fucking weird when
If
people
you're
have
interested,
rabies.
I had an entire document written about my shortcomings and sent to me today.
Wait, that was I thought that was like a couple days or like yesterday.
No, that happened today.
Dude, days are fucking flowing together. So yeah.
See how she doesn't pick up on.
For,
This is actually pretty smart, by the way. And days are flowing together. Though that doesn't really have to do anything with what he's saying, but he is trying to pull pity here. He's like, pity. He's fucking pulling like a fucking rope.
For
getting all that
bits
pity.
of that stream.
Hell yeah.
What a shit show.
There it is. If you ever want to peruse it, that's what I had to deal with today.
Pity me.
Oh,
Hence,
dear.
why my sympathy was short.
Feel for me.
These people said the day that I streamed Lost Odyssey because I was depressed and I needed the break that everybody kept saying that I should take was a dereliction of my duty.
Yeah,
coming from people that did not serve in the military and
Not relevant.
do not have a
Whatever.
fucking idea of what duty is.
To have a sense of duty, you don't have to be in the military. Don't know why he says it. Whatever. I don't know why he says it like that. People have sense of duties all the time. Once again, like maybe he's using a military term. Are they fucking dumb for that? Yeah, I think that's stupid as fuck. But the way he words it is, he's maximizing pity, right?
When you use a word like derelict, when you use a phrase like dereliction,
Yeah, I mean it that way, but I'm maximizing pity here. Fucking farming.
I'm going to rip your fucking head off.
Right.
Reasonable, by the way.
And it just gets kind of worse from there.
Yeah,
but the point is that that's where my sympathy went today, was not destroying the people that sent that to me.
Well, do you know who sent it? Because it was anonymous, right?
Oh, it's anonymous, but I can find them.
Right.
It's not difficult.
Can't find you.
If I wanted to know who they were, I would have falsified my intention to speak with them in good faith. I would have found out who they were and then removed them from the community.
Right.
That would have been the best solution. I didn't do it because it's dishonest. Instead, I stood on stream and I said,
that would not be the best solution. The best solution would probably be go on stream and be like, yeah, this is unreasonable. I need fucking breaks. Fuck off. That's it. They send it again? Whatever.
You have a problem with
what I'm
doing to the point that you don't believe I care about this, then you need to leave. That's what I told them.
That's right. That's not wrong. That's correct.
They don't.
Submit applications. It's like subscription, right?
Yeah, it's if you're subbed, you get to be a part of the living world, but it's a reward for the subs.
Yeah.
It was never designed to be
like
a
paid
system
service,
that you paid for. Yeah,
fair,
that's
fair.
not what it is. And there's this whole thing where they try to like break down what the money cost of the item they paid for was. Oh man, it gets pretty bad. But yeah, essentially it's absolute nonsense. And yeah, it gets pretty bad. So I had to stomach all that. I also had to listen to a doctor in psychology, a person with a doctorate in human psychiatry, who is my community admin, nearly burst into tears delivering this to me because of all this shit that she got put through putting it together, so that she would be forced to by being kind, and basically she's trapped by her ideals because of the malignation of them, because she believes everybody gets a voice. We specifically have protocols in place for that voice to be expressed, so on and so forth. See, that's the problem with too much PC thinking. You get trapped by it and then you can't do anything.
Right.
Sometimes you need to draw the line in the sand and say, and soldier the fuck up. That person is wrong.
Yeah.
Period. It doesn't matter that they're a POC, a woman, or gay.
Oh, dude,
wrong,
I am
you
all
know?
for kicking toxic people out of communities, like full.
But anyway,
full stop.
the
Yeah.
point is I had to basically listen to her try not to cry in front of me, and it pissed me the fuck off, because people can take all the shots they want to at me.
Look at how good of a man
I have enough soldier in me that I can be a little sociopathic if I need to protect myself, as dark as that might seem. But I have to, or else I'd break. She doesn't.
Right.
She is in fact designed to be the opposite. So therefore,
right.
You know.
Yeah.
And I wasn't gonna let that happen.
Behind
so
my
I stood up in
shield.
front of the stream and told them, "You need to leave."
Right.
Period. Simple as that. Stop attacking my mod team. Stop attacking my community admin.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the stance I took.
Have you considered?
It's a first stance. He needs to stop acting like he's a holy knight, though. You just did what you were supposed to.
Yep.
You did your duty, huh?
All right.
Yeah. I have an entire team. I mean, I'm pretty well delegated, but the problem with it is that, you know, it's just people, man. That's what it is. There are people that want to see me fail because the ideals that I represent are not the ones they agree with.
Right.
It's incredibly political. And I don't mean like political like, you know, our government.
Yeah,
but
obviously
not.
They mean like your status on Twitch.
That you have to have permadeath in order to have the game have any meaning. I don't agree with that. This is going to fail. He should fail because I disagree with that. Continues to become the #1 watched D&D stream. That's
right.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
That people
jerk me off, please.
By
the way, not anymore. I'm sure you won't be the most watched anymore.
People who want to see anybody that's successful fail. Then there's probably also the people that like they have criticisms that they word poorly, but they want to see you succeed, but like they can't see that happening unless certain things are changed. So it's not just people that.
Oh, I know that, but here's the problem. A poorly worded criticism is useless to me.
Right.
I mean, like, your intention doesn't matter if it's not conveyed properly.
That's fair.
That is an unfortunate fact. So if somebody has a really good, valid point, but they can't tell me, then
you figure it out yourself, maybe.
Right.
It's not true. You could figure it out yourself.
We
whatever.
have protocols in place for them to the best ability that I could do with volunteers. I mean, I have a fucking person with a PhD in this shit helping me with it. Like,
in what shit?
I don't know anybody whose
D&D
credentials are higher than that. That would do it for free.
Right.
Hello? You know? And so it's like, so we are at maximum capacity of caring for them to handle it, but that isn't enough for people because guess what? Some people lose.
Right.
That can't be avoided, you know? And it's just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But I just detest the presumption that I don't care.
Yeah, for sure.
That is the biggest thing that I protest because anybody who watches what I do with any
cat's owning me. My cat's owning me.
Of interest.
My cat's fucking owning me.
Retention knows that it's not true.
Like, yeah, you do a ton of work. You just need like a clone of yourself.
Yeah, that's what
Please don't agree to that. No.
I don't know.
Yo, you're jerking himself off so hard, man. It's so sad, so pathetic. I was gonna say you should hire a PR team, but obviously this would PR wouldn't help. PR wouldn't help this. This was a private conversation. That is the thing to note. He probably wouldn't talk like this if it wasn't a private conversation. We do get an insight into who he really is. It's a little fucking full of himself, isn't he? It's whatever.
I'll finally have my break. So
that shit is funny. The light Yagami stuff.
What you're doing after? Like,
yeah, more D&D.
Hell yeah.
It's like fucking Lelouch.
My passion for D&D hasn't
the D&D Lelouch.
But I mean, like
moving you all like pieces on a board.
Is it gonna be in the same like universe?
Yeah, they'll just be a time skip, and there'll be new things to do.
It's awesome. So. Well, I hope we all succeed and that nothing blows up in game or out of game before that time comes.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope nothing would blow up, huh? So that's about it. That's the first recording. I think it was pretty interesting. I think it's funny. I'll link Naomi's shed in the bottom. Arcadum, little full of himself, little cocky. and it would use like pity bait and pretending not to be cocky, even though he really did. The problem with this all is he thinks he's the shit, right? He thinks he's the shit. You don't think, he's huffing his own farts while at the same time pretending to not be the shit, right? To everyone around him. It's very, it's very manipulative. He might be doing it on purpose. Go watch fucking Destiny's video if you want to figure that out. I don't know. I don't go into all that speech. I think it's funny. I think it's interesting how he gets fucking clapped in this conversation. Several points he gets fucking whooped, and she's got a point. Maybe you shouldn't treat people like numbers. Maybe you should work things out in a more conclusive manner. He says, I'm really good at my job and nipping shit in the bud. Well, then why after the Pepe things hands you go like, listen, I already apologized. I really am sorry, and that's all I can really say. And then she'd be like, fair. Okay, that's it. But he doesn't say that, does he? He does continue it himself. He can pretend he doesn't, but I mean, we have the chat logs. Like I said, this video is really petty. This video is about the audio that doesn't really have to do with the grander scheme of why he got canceled or whatever. And I don't really care to go into that. Like I said, there's better videos on it, and you can read the shit yourself. Go for it. It's probably a good read. It's got some interesting stuff in there. Plenty of detail. But that's it on the Naomi part of it. It was pretty funny. There's other stuff that's kind of funny, and if I make another video on it, I doubt I will. His response was weak as fuck. It wasn't enough. I'm gonna need a manifesto. I'm gonna need the manifesto of Arcadum side if I want to go into that. So I'll wait for the Arcadum manifesto to go into that. When I make another video, if you've watched my other ones, you know, maybe. I don't fucking care. I just like shit that's funny, and I'll see if we can post some funny shit again, because funny shit always happens on the internet. So, thanks for watching, and fuck off.